By 1900, most of the American South had abandoned Reconstruction and showed little interest in integrating emancipated slaves into the rest of society. In fact, many states passed laws bringing back segregation to the South. Legislation known as Jim Crow made sure that blacks were forced to go to inferior schools, eat at separate lunch counters, and never ever allowed into whites-only spaces. Jim Crow meant that blacks were second-class citizens in the South, even in the eyes of the law. This, combined with a lack of economic opportunities, made discrimination and oppression an inescapable part of life for African Americans living in the region. In the early 20th century, African Americans began to flee the South by the hundreds of thousands, seeking better lives in northern cities and towns. The Upper Manhattan neighborhood, known as Harlem, became a predominantly black neighborhood during this time. What happened with art, music, and writing in Harlem between 1920 and 1940, a phenomenon now known as the Harlem Renaissance, changed American literature forever. As Black Americans began to fill neighborhoods in northern cities, places like Harlem became centers for Black culture and self-expression. In Harlem, Black men and women could publish their own art for their own audiences, and independent magazines and journals like Opportunity and The Crisis gave young Black authors a chance to develop their voices. One of the most important authors of the Harlem Renaissance was Nathan Gene Toomer, who had a complex background. Most of his ancestors were white or had mixed racial ancestry, but in those days, even one Black grandparent or great-grandparent could classify someone as Black. Because of his parentage and his light complexion, Gene Toomer experienced Americans' racial divisions from both sides of the color line. In Harlem in the 1920s, Gene Toomer was a major literary figure whose poems and novels gave a powerful voice to the experience of Black Americans.